Welcome to Mor-In The Know podcast. I'm your host, Josh Morin, Vice President and co-founder of Field Supplements, as well as sobriety, woke, business, and wellness coach. Mor-In The Know delivers an array of content based on marketing, health and fitness, personal branding, addiction, and often goes down the rabbit hole of conspiracy, politics, and the truth. If you seek to better understand the inner workings of human performance, consciousness, business, and humanity, you have come to the right place. Thank you for tuning in and tagging along. Let's get today's podcast started. What's up, everyone? All you cool cats and kittens. Today's podcast is number 29, and we are cruising along on my 30 for 30 journey. I appreciate everybody tuning in, sharing, liking, commenting, and spreading the Mor-In The Know wealth to all your friends, family, and fellow networkers. Network. Whatever. You already know what it means. We're going to dive right into number 29, and this is the latest. It's 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and this is the latest that I've done a podcast yet. I was going to do a podcast before I went to the gym. I was going to do it afterwards, and then here I am. I procrastinated a little bit on this, and more or less not procrastination. I wanted to deliver something important. I wanted to really feel inspired and deliver an inspired message, but sometimes, not everything that I'm going to say or not everything that you must require to hear is going to have that so deep, inspiring, motivating content. And more or less, I think maybe the message tonight that is that deep, inspiring, motivating content is I had to take a couple breaths this evening. I had to take a couple breaths and say, man, take the pressure off yourself. And you don't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to be perfect. All you must do is just be your best and deliver your best. And I'm like, man, that is the message that I'm going to portray. I'm literally going to make a podcast over exactly how I'm feeling. And this is the first time that I've really felt this since I've started this 30 for 30. Is a lot of times during the day I'll just get sparks of inspiration, but I feel like I've been indulging and receiving so much inspiration and so much content that sometimes it's often hard for me to really decide what I want to say because I have so much to say and I want to keep these short and sweet to the point. And more or less, my message today is that I didn't have a whole lot of inspiring content that I wanted to share other than this. And I think that there's a lot of inspiration and motivation within this content alone, is that you don't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to be perfect, but being your best self will always outweigh perfection. Progress is always more important than perfection. I've touched on podcasts about this. I touched early on this topic in one of my podcasts, but I will say is that not everything that you do is going to be perfect. We put too much stress on ourselves, and we make the story up in our mind about an outcome that is yet to happen, and we find ourselves procrastinating, putting things off, getting ready to get ready. We find ourselves never even finish. We're chronic starters, but not finishers. We find ourselves even maybe getting halfway through and completely quitting. And I find that if we could all understand in all aspects of life to have patience with the process, and understand that not every single day you're going to be flying on cloud 9, but to understand as things come and as you progress, there's going to be moments and times that you're going to face some challenges. And as you face challenges, it is your responsibility to stay calm, cool, and collective, adapt, change, overcome, as well as be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself and be patient with the process. We all live, I've said this before, in this microwave fast food technology era where we want things on demand. But all great things, as they can come on demand and as they can transform very rapidly and very quickly, because I truly believe that your attraction to things, there's no boundary on what you can attract and there's no limits on how fast you can do it. But I do believe alignment is key. I do believe that you will not attract what you seek until you align your mind, body, and spirit with that. Because have you ever wanted something really bad and it just hasn't come, and just hasn't come, and just hasn't come, and then you just let go and released, and all of a sudden, once you let go and you stopped wanting that something so bad, and it just came to you in abundance? I think about this all the time with women. It's like when you're wanting to date a girl or go on a date with a girl or see a girl and you're wanting to hit up chicks so bad, and it just feels like nobody's hitting you back, and you can't find a girl, you can't find a guy, and you're forcing it. You're in this force, and all of a sudden you let go, and you don't even care anymore, and all of a sudden you have your inbox just being full, and you have women and men flocking to you. Or even take it one step further, it's like when you're outside of a relationship, you don't have anybody hitting you up, and all of a sudden, once you're in one, everybody hits you up. I don't know that one. I don't know the full details on that one. I'll have to really incept and inquire deep in my brain for some more knowing and some information on that. But what I'm saying is that oftentimes we want to force things, and oftentimes we find ourselves in this place of force that's counterproductive in actually creating resistance to the thing that we actually seek, and because we want it so bad, we're setting off all this mixed energy, and it's this force like we need it. It's like this lack energy. It's this energy where we don't have enough, so we need it right now. But once you let go, and once you live in this space of abundance, and you live in the space that you already have what you seek, it flows and it goes to you without effort, and it's effortless. And it's effortlessly easy for you to attract exactly what you desire and what you seek when you can allow yourself to let go and align yourself with your truest and utmost desires. But most of the time is we want something, but what we do, what we say, and where we're at emotionally and spiritually is not conducive to the thing that we seek, and that's why there's so much force to getting it. But the moment that we can let go, root ourselves in our body, and align ourselves with a divine and connected source, that's when we can begin to attract riches, not just in money, but we can multiply money, we can multiply relationships, both platonic and romantic, where all of a sudden you start attracting these synchronicities and start to have this synergy about you and this energy about you, that all of a sudden these things are coming to you easily and effortlessly. All of a sudden you meet this phenomenal person at the gym, or you meet somebody in the grocery line, or you're on a plane ride and you find somebody that has the same similar interests or has been very successful in your vocation, and you've created this network. And all of a sudden you start to attract these people, places, and situations that are in complete alignment with your utmost and highest divine desires. But you cannot get there. You cannot get into that synchronicity. You cannot get into that synergy without having the introspective and looking within yourself to do that inner work. We all want to look outside of us, but it's the moment that we go into us and get in tune with ourselves, then we can attract what's outside of us. And that's something that I've lived by, is what the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. And that's where I'm at with all this, is that oftentimes when you're in force and when you're in this place of wanting something so bad, but you're not aligned with it, don't plan on getting it. But when you can be rooted and you already have it, when you have that mindset and that attitude and that feeling, that deep-rooted feeling where it's, I'm already rich. I'm already rich in money. I'm already rich in relationships. I'm already rich in abundance of health. I'm already happy. Maybe I'm going through a sickness right now, but you envision and you already feel happy. Maybe you're broke right now, but you don't embody that broke mentality. You don't say, I can't afford. You already say you are rich. You act as if you are. And obviously that's a lot to do with the laws of attraction and metaphysics, but the law of attraction is nothing without action. And those simple daily actions that continue to align yourself with your desires and the divine is going to allow you to step into your power. It's going to allow you to attract that in which you deserve and become that and who you deserve to be. And the deep meaning, or the deep message behind this, is patience, is having patience. And that's what I've found with this podcast, is having patience with myself. And that's what I'm here to share with you while I'm on my journey, is to share. Sometimes I started this podcast, I had no fucking clue what the hell I was going to talk about. And here I am talking 10 plus minutes about connectivity, connecting to divine, alignment. These are things that I've allowed myself to flow because I was honestly very in my head and anxious before I started this because I had no clue what I was going to talk about. But as I started to speak, I started to let go and I started to get comfortable and I started to become a receiver. That's all we are. All we are is receivers to our higher divine, our higher connection and our higher source. We're receivers for this information. And the moment that you can allow yourself to open wide and allow yourself to be receptive to this information that is being directed to you from the fourth dimension and given to you, the faster then you can align yourself with that in which you desire, and the faster that you can acquire that in which you deserve. So that's today's podcast. I often feel that when I begin to speak, things might come out a little rocky, a little rough, and I've said this before. But as I get warmed up and as I let go and I shed those layers, and I shed those onion layers, that's what life is a letting go process. As I let go, I'm able to deliver my best content. But such is life. Having that patience with yourself, but not just having that patience, having that faith. Having that faith that deep down you know you're going to find that connectivity. And it's not the how. It's not how do I. It's just you do. It just happens. And when you live in that space of not asking how, the mechanics behind it, and you just live in the is state, that just is what it is. How do you deliver? You just do. How do you connect to source? You just connect. It just is. And obviously there's a process of letting go to allow you to get to that space, but once you are in that space, there's no mechanics behind it. You just are. It's just a space of is. It's a knowing space that is no thing, all things but nothing at the same time. And it's a beautiful space to be in. And I appreciate you gliding along on my spiritual journey as I deliver these podcasts every single day, as it's been a privilege to deliver my message as well as receive such incredible heartfelt messages back to me for my content. I'm incredibly grateful and I'm honored to be receiving such phenomenal feedback. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay in the know here on YouTube. If you're listening on any other platform, be sure to give me a follow on Instagram. Stay in the know at Mor-In The Know. That's MORINTHEKNOW. Behind me, you can see shelves of supplements my dad and I co-own. We started our Field Supplements almost 3 years ago now. So check out Field Supplements, top-of-the-line manufacturing procedures, best raw ingredients, and some of the absolute highest quality formulations on the entire market for performance, recovery, wellness, and more. Be sure to check us out at fieldsupplements.com. You can find all the links to all these pages down below. And you guys have a beautiful Tuesday.